Actually, I feel with sorrow and sadness for the Russia-Ukrainian conflict. Still now, there is a lot of bad news to see these civilizations in this big war. This war is bleeding the economy of the world, not only for Russia only or Ukraine, but all over the world are consume or have bad emotions and bad feeling about the damage and the effect of economy from Egypt, and I'm afraid from raising the prices of the bread and other food and the oil are this. So let's us see these videos.
This is how fast YouTube is with Brave.
So
notice how there's no pre-roll ads. And here's how you can see how much time you save with Brave. Look, Chrome was great in
Russian
2008, but it's 20.
But
Kyiv this morning is staring down the barrel of a Russian assault column that's reportedly up to 40 miles long. Satellite images confirm it's big, deadly, and dangerous, with hundreds of armored vehicles, tanks, and towed artillery, and that it's heading toward the capital of 3 million people. Russia seems to be changing tactics. So far, Russia has been using small group attacks. What's coming looks more like old, blunt Russian siege warfare. It's already happening outside of Kyiv, with Russian forces attacking Mariupol. A 6-year-old girl next to her parents at a supermarket was hit by a shell. She was rushed to an ambulance, alive, but just clinging. At the hospital, her injuries proved too much.
Children,
Show this to Putin, a doctor told the camera from the Associated Press.
Emotions and very
the eyes
bad
of this child and crying doctors. In Kharkiv, Ukraine's second city, more siege and assault. Russia pounding the city center and its administrative building in ways that appear indiscriminate, including Ukrainian officials and the human rights group allege with banned cluster munitions. Russia denies the accusation. President Volodymyr Zelensky overnight saying the Russians targeted residential sections of the city, calling it a military crime. But Ukrainians are not being cowed. Russian troops did capture the small port city of Berdyansk, but residents came out and shouted down the armed Russians. Berdyansk is Ukraine, they yelled. The Russian troops seemed surprised and held their fire. In Kyiv, those staying behind are readying themselves for street fighting, with sandbag checkpoints manned by armed volunteers, and with seemingly endless supplies of Molotov cocktails.
They have no chance to get into our city and into our country, so that's why they should leave, or they will be all dead. That's the simple reason. Us or them.
As Ukraine braces for a new, possibly even more brutal chapter of this unprovoked war.
Here, how Russia-Ukrainian conflict will affect the American economy.
Good morning and welcome. This is Russian invasion. I'm Ladi Akiriduluale. The headlines. Ukrainian officials confirm at least 70 soldiers are killed in a Russian artillery strike.
Military, however, claims that it's taken full control of Europe's largest nuclear power plant in the south of Ukraine.
Commitment to these transit countries that have given us timelines for the refugees.
The Ukraine, a number of Africans had complained of racism at the Ukraine.
That between the two countries, between 25 and 30 billion in the world wheat production, and Nigeria.
Sector, you are a top international businessman. Again, is there any link to Poland and Estonia? He said Vladimir Putin would feel the consequences of invading Ukraine. They don't disclose how. Australia is also committing 35 million Australian dollars in humanitarian support to international organizations assisting Ukrainians. weapons and non-lethal support to Ukraine, and it has backed a number of sanctions, including supporting the removal of Russia from the SWIFT